We are here for goodness sake. Hello family, this is Carol Worth with Salta Paul LLC. Welcome to the Goodness Forum YouTube video and podcast where goodness and positivity are openly discussed and amplified. Each week we have a topic and we speak to a guest, either an individual or a business who are openly spreading goodness and positivity in the world. Today, Millie Balcheva is our guest. She's a comrade of mine at Starbucks, one of my partners, and so we'll be talking to her in a minute. So each week we start with a topic and a quote, and then we talk about it and talk to our guest. So what we know here at Salta Paul is that what we focus on in life grows, and when we focus on what's good, we amplify it. We are a stand here for a world that works for everyone, and one of the ways we do that is by focusing on the good. So thank you for helping us to do that, because we know that there's a ripple effect, that when you focus on good, good things happen. So thank you for being here. Today's topic is no means no, and the quote is actually a biblical quote, and it is from Revelations 3:16, and is, I say to you, be either hot or cold, or I will spit you out of my mouth. And that may sound kind of funny, like, what? Well, how was that good? Right? So we chose that quote because, number one, it amuses me. And number two, it really does speak to something, and that is authenticity. So we at Salta Paul know that what you are, what we all are, is the same what? We are love. We are children of God, the great reality, whatever you want to call it. And that when we're coming from our authentic self, that we naturally deliver the gifts we're here to deliver. We can be a stand for other people being authentic as well. And we chose this topic because it really does speak to it. Hot or cold, yes or no. Let your no mean no and your yes mean yes. In other words, be authentic. Oftentimes in life, I know I have in my past been a fake and a phony and a people pleaser, and said to people what I wanted to say that I thought they wanted to hear, rather than just being straight. And there's such a refreshing, powerful atmosphere that gets created when people are just straight with their yes and straight with their no. And there's no guessing, you know, they're authentic, and you know where you stand. And Millie is such an amazing person in that regard. It's almost like she doesn't even realize how authentic she is. Like, it's just the way she is, and it's almost effortless. And it's so exciting for me to have her on the show, because every day that I get a chance to be around her and work with her, I get to experience that. And it's almost like, you know, when you're around people who are being authentic, it is helpful, right? Because it gives you permission to likewise be authentic, and not, you know, as I was saying with Mary the other day, not fronting. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I just am what I am, and who I am, and where I'm at is exactly where I'm at. And that's beautiful, and that's positive and good. So, Millie, thank you.
Well, thanks, Carol.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, can you talk to our audience a little bit about when you are in life? Like, what is your general, like, where do you come from? What's your attitude? What's your outlook?
Gosh, I have no idea. But I guess more or less it comes down to I ain't got time for that. Really. I have my own goals, and I'm working towards them. And I do what I need to do to get there, whether those are fitness goals or life goals, or, you know, whatever it is that they happen to be. And so those are the ones I strive for, and I work towards them. And if I don't have time for anything else, I don't have time for it, and I won't do it. And that's how I live my life. And if I want to do something, I do it. If I don't, I won't. And I'll get to where I'm going, because that's what I want. And I go after what I want.
So you coming from your authentic self, you do what you want to do, and you take care of yourself.
Yes. You know how people say, I can't have that brownie because it's bad for my figure? Well, I say, I want the brownie, therefore I'm going to eat the brownie.
You do.
I do.
Yeah.
Really.
And you take care of yourself just the same.
Yes. So then after I eat the brownie, I remember I got to go to the gym tomorrow. And then I go.
You do.
And then I eat the cookie afterwards.
And that is just perfect.
Yes, it works. It works for me.
Yeah. So what I've noticed about you, Millie, is that you speak your mind, and yet you also are kind to people. Like you actually do, like especially like when we're working, you're kind to people, although you do speak your mind. So how does that work for you? Like what's that like? I mean, when you're around people and they're just being them, and but in a nice way, you say what you need to say.
I have developed the subtle art of telling them off in a very calm demeanor with a giant smile on my face, as if I truly, truly, truly care about their well-being.
But you do.
In a way.
You
in
do.
a way.
I mean, come on.
Okay,
You
but at
do.
the same time, to me, it's all about respect. You respect me, I respect you in turn. If I'm disrespected, then I will subtly tell you that, depending on the situation. Or if I can, depending on the situation, I will outright tell you.
So you will be honest with people.
Absolutely. Nobody has time for dishonesty. And I think that's one of my biggest pet peeves is, if there's something going on, say it, And it's the best way. No miscommunication.
Mm-hmm.
No issues getting around if you just say exactly what's going on, what's on your mind, in whatever means necessary. And it's such a better way to live. It's so much more calming. There's no room for drama. No, I guess it's not time consuming in any way. Quick, direct, and to the point.
So you just say what you need to say and you let it go.
And you move on. Move on with your life. It's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it works in private life, in professional life. It's just gotta get that timing. It's all about timing. And a little tweak of the phrase.
So, but when I'm hearing, okay, this is my experience with you, and what I hear you saying is that you need to say what you need to say, when you need to say it, and you need to say it in a way that's respectful.
Yes. Unless you can't be respectful.
But you can always be respectful.
Yes.
Yeah, you can. And that's my experience of you, is that you are.
I always say you're such a better human than I am.
Not so. So the other thing I want you to talk about is, because what I see, so these are the two words I would use to describe you, Millie.
Okay, what you got?
You are golden, but gruff sometimes.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with the rough part.
Gruff,
Gruff.
Gruff,
Or gruff.
right?
Okay, gruff.
right? And then a golden heart. So there is that gruffness, but there's a goldenness to you. And in speaking to the goldenness, what I see in you is that you are always extending yourself for others, to be helpful to others, even sometimes when you don't want to. So talk about that a little bit.
Well,
Because you do, you show up.
I do. Well, to me, my word means something.
It does.
And I want that to be a sense of credibility. If I give my word on something, I want it to have meaning. And so, and when it comes especially to my friends, I'll help them out if I can. And I do it in the sense that, well, for one, it's good to help out your friends. But in a sense also that if I need help, I can look towards those people.
Mm-hmm.
And they will help me if I need it.
Mm-hmm. Once you give out, you get back, don't you?
Yes, I like to think so.
Yeah.
At any rate.
And your word. So talk a little bit more about, and how did you develop that? Or is it just something that you naturally...
No, well, it's something that's always kind of stuck with me, but largely it's, oh my gosh, what is with people? People. So often you encounter somebody says, I'll meet you, but then they bail last minute. Or says, I'll help you out, but then all of a sudden something comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's legitimate reasons at
Right.
times, and those are perfectly acceptable. If there's not a call to explain, or it's just a magic disappearance of said person that was supposed to help with something, then it's so irritating to me. It's unnecessary, it's disrespectful, and why do that? And then so I always made it a point for myself that if I give my word to somebody that I will help, that I will do something, that I will show up, and then I am there for that. I actually do what I said that I was going to do, unless of course something truly happens to
Right.
come up, and
Got that.
but then that's when you call the person and explain, this came up, can we set up and talk about this another day, or can I help you later on, or you work with that person. And that's how I develop my sense of being, is that if I give my word, I'm going to stick to it, because I don't want to be like that person. I don't want to be like that flaky person.
You want to be authentic and be real, and you want to be, I mean, here's what I'm hearing in that, is you are your word. And that's one of the things that we talk about here, is we are our word. That's the
Yes.
one thing that we are. Nobody can give our word, and nobody can take our word from us. Like, that is how we create our life, is with our word. When you honor your word, you know yourself as a powerful human being. And when you keep your word, you know yourself as a powerful human being. And that, yeah.
Stick to it. Oh my God, stick to your word. Don't be, I don't want you to have to edit. Don't be that person.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. So, is that something that you discovered for yourself, that the power of your own word? Or is it something that you were taught?
I don't think I was taught, well, at any rate, I never thought about it. I never actually took the time to figure out how all
How
this
that
came
happened?
about.
Yeah.
And I actually would have to stop and really give it a lot of thought
Yeah.
to figure it out. But it's something that's been with me for a really long time. And I think it was just an observation with others, if I was bailed on.
Right,
Or,
it didn't feel good.
things like that. It's like, I don't want to do that to somebody else. I don't want that. I don't want when people think of me to think of me in that
Oh,
sense.
that girl who flakes, or that
Yeah.
person who I can't trust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm building my own credibility. I'm building my own self